Hey, this is Anthony Parrilli on the Billion Bet Podcast, and today we got Matt Williams here. Matt, thanks for joining us. Matt has a app he designed himself called Triaxle. It's for
Sure.
construction companies, provides a excellent solution we'll talk about in the video, and he's got his own podcast as well.
Thanks for having me, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's nice to see you too. Like we were just kind of chatting prior to recording. It's been a pretty busy winter, honestly. Now it's kind of starting to taper off because we haven't really had any snow. But until about like a week ago, I was still doing calls from that initial snowfall.
From like a month and a half ago. Hey, that's good for you.
Yeah, so
Make it while you can.
yeah, right. Because now it's kind of like vacation mode until spring, I guess.
The lawnmowers start getting fired up.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of working on doing some marketing stuff and trying to automate a few more things. Make my life easier instead of giving myself more jobs.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
So how have you been?
I've been good. Been good. We've been busy.
Jumping into Triaxle, could you kind of explain to the audience exactly what it is?
Sure. So it's like I guess like kind of our slogan or our tagline is simplified networking and logistics solutions for the construction industry. So Triaxle kind of came about. I was in construction for over 20 years. We did anything from home building to excavating, crushing, topsoil screening. We had a landscape supply yard. So we had a couple different businesses. And through those years, one of the things that really became an issue for me constantly was getting rid of clean fill or sourcing clean fill. So, like, as a contractor or an excavating company, you go and dig somebody's basement, you go and dig a basement for a new home. If that lot is not adequately, sized enough to handle the excess dirt to be graded off on site, you have to haul it out. And in my area, more often than not, you're exporting materials. On the flip side, sometimes you're doing a new parking lot or you're doing a project where you need to build a pad, so you need material. So the idea for it all came about 2010. We were doing a big new home construction project, and we hauled about 100 triaxle loads of material off of the site, and that cost money. 100 loads, back then I don't know what it would have cost, and now it would be quite a big bill. So it wasn't too terribly far. We hauled it maybe less than 5 miles down the road. But literally, like the day we were done hauling 100 loads, the gentleman that owned the property next to where we're working came up and said, "Hey, I'm looking for some clean fill for my site right here. So if you ever have any more, like I'll take all that you can have." And that was like so. It was so frustrating for me and annoying, but it was also like the light bulb went off, and I was like, man, there's got to be a better way to do this. He should have known that we were going to have this available in advance instead of catching us on the tail end. So for many years after that, those types of situations, that was the first one that was like such a huge like wake up call. But for many years after that, the frustration just kept going on. And every time we move to a new location or a new work site, we did some paving as well. So we would go maybe only 10 miles away to another town, and we're looking for a new dump site again. So the idea first came to me in 2010, but I was not an app developer. I'm not the guy to do it. So I kind of just was waiting for somebody to provide me with a solution. And around the 2016-17 timeframe, I was just constantly frustrated with the lack of visibility for the other contractors and commercial businesses in our area to know who needed fill, who was getting rid of fill. So I knew there had to be a way to connect these people, to network them together. So I started I started looking at a way to build a platform to network cleanfill. That was the first step we took, towards building the app. And initially, it was going to be a website here locally. I wasn't going to build an app. I was just going to start off with a local website. It was going to be like Northeast PA clean fill site or whatever we were going to come up with. And then in talking with developers and the web guy that I used at the time, it was like, why are you limiting yourself to Northeast PA? The internet is limitless. You can do this nationwide, North America, worldwide. And that was, obvious, and I agreed. So we kind of, looked at just launching to the United States. And a couple more years went by, just never gained any traction. I had a local guy here that was supposed to be doing the website for me, and he wasn't able to follow through and get it done. And after he kind of bailed, this is going on for over 10 years at this point, idea to conception, but I'm not letting go. Like, I knew there's something to this. I knew this could be a very useful tool for the industry. So when he wasn't able to follow through, my brother Doug, I started telling him my frustrations and all the nonsense that I was going through, and I couldn't get this thing off the ground. And he was, obviously sympathetic, but he started bringing ideas to the table and started giving me an outside perspective because he was in a different industry than me. So I kind of had tunnel vision looking at it from my point of view, and he came in from the outside, and he started bringing in ideas as somebody that's not in the construction industry, but he's very tech savvy, he's very smart. So we kind of started putting our heads together, and we came up with Triaxle, which the core of Triaxle is networking, clean fill, and other materials, whether it's somebody that needs to obtain the materials or get rid of it. But it evolved into kind of like a more general construction marketplace. It's not just for clean fill. So on our current product, you can list a piece of equipment for sale. You can list, let's say you have an empty lot that you wouldn't mind renting out to a construction company doing a road project or something. We have a real estate section where you can list that on our platform. So it's basically, a means and a marketplace to connect people in the industry for ever changing problems that they have. So whether it's a lay down yard or clean fill, or let's say somebody comes from somebody from New York State comes down to Pennsylvania and they're starting a job and they haven't done their due diligence beforehand. They need to find a quarry, find an asphalt plant, find the local ready mix company. Every business that is in the construction industry, which is a very broad industry, is welcome to be on our platform. So what we're doing is kind of connecting people on a construction networking platform only. So, it's like Facebook. Obviously, a lot of people, get business done that way. But with our platform, we've weeded out the noise, weeded out the spam. It's for contractors only. So we came out last year with our V1 app. It's gotten a lot of traction. It's doing very well. We have about 2,000 users across the country. However, it's not the app that we wanted, and it's not what we were hoping for. Our first developer got us a V1 app, but it wasn't the vision that we really had, and it kind of got watered down, and we lost some of the functionality that we wanted. So we're running with this one right now, but we're also in development, and we're building a completely new app from scratch. We've teamed up with a developer that is technologically, capable to do what we want plus more. We have other features that we want to bring in down the road. So we've kind of started from scratch, and over the course of this year, we're going to build a completely new app and launch it, hopefully in the next 7-8 months.
That's incredible. So, where did you go about finding a higher skilled developer than the one that you originally had used?
Word of mouth. So development it's a tough thing because there's a lot of developers out there advertising that they do app development, advertising that they specialize in this and that. There's a lot in the States, there's a lot out of the States. So the first one that we had was a company in the States, and we had found them just Google searches, just searching, checking reviews, calling, having discussions with them. And then we interviewed a couple and we settled on one. That experience kind of left a sour taste in our mouth. Development it's very fluid, and it's hard for a developer to listen to me talk or listen to a document that they give them and fully understand what's in my head and like what my vision is for this product 100% without missing anything or overthinking it or underthinking it. So, you get a quote and you get into the process and you start building. And then as you remind them, oh no, it has to do this, it has to do that. Well, they're like, well, this is going to take longer. This is going to cost more money. So it's a tough process, and it's tough for me because everything that I had done in the past, like construction, excavating, I either knew exactly what I was doing or I had an idea of what I was doing. And if I wasn't 100% sure, I could consult with my friends in the industry. But this is totally new. I don't know how to code apps. I can't build them. I have to pay somebody else to do it. So there's a lot of trust involved and communication to make sure it gets done right. So the first one got done, but it didn't go the way we thought, the way we wanted it to. So the second one, we actually, a family or a friend of my brother's, who he knew very well, he actually has an app as well. And we just kind of found that out randomly when we were on the hunt searching for a new developer. And we got in touch with him. He hooked us up with his team, and it's been phenomenal so far. It's like a night and day difference. They have some very, very talented people. They've put out some very impressive products. They deal in blockchain and all sorts of technology that we don't need all of the skills that they have. So their pricing is fair. They are out of the States, but they do a lot of work here. They've worked for some big clients over here. So it was kind of just like so random that we came across, or I ran into an old friend in town. He hooked us up with the buddy that has his own app, and gave us this lead on the developer. So a lot of luck with that one, because otherwise we don't know where we would have ended up again, and how it would have gone.
That's always something that's really tricky is when you're trying to start on a new project. A, how much money are you really trying to spend, which then comes down to the United States or overseas. And then if you are going to choose something in the United States and you're going to pay the premium because you want it to be done, well, and you don't want to have to try and coach them through everything, well, trying to trust them, honestly, because that's tough.
It's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. It's Apps are very expensive to have done, and we're now doing it again for the second time in 2 years, which is extremely painful to the wallet, but it's the right work to do. And I'm an advocate for always doing the right thing in business, whether it's for your customer or for your vision or for your product. And this was a case where we did it. We spent quite a bit of money to build the first one. It took 6 months longer than we had hoped it was going to. We didn't get the product that we wanted. It wasn't fine tuned. It's not real fast and snappy the way we want it to be. So we made the tough decision. We did it once, and we could either try to roll with it or start over. And the bottom line was, I'm not super proud of it, like the one that we have now. It's a great app. It provides a lot of value, and it does a very powerful service to our users, but it's just not what I wanted. And I can't go out and lie, and like, if I'm going to be proud of, like, if I'm going to go out and sell something and tell people that it's great, and the current one just isn't, it's just not top notch. So we made the tough decision to just do it again, start over from scratch. I don't know if you know the difference between React Native and native, but our first app was React Native. So basically, with React Native, you can get APIs and you can get plugins of different products. So like you grab a product that has the mapping capabilities, and you grab a product that does messaging, and another product. So basically, like, you build the app with components that were already built by software companies, and then you build it for Android, or I'm sorry, like, you build it for iOS, and then it talks to Android and kind of translates that information so it works on Android, this is the basic understanding, layman's terms, that I understand. But in doing so, it's just not it's not scalable, and it's not as fast, and it's not as powerful as a native app. We're now going native, which every single button, everything inside the app is going to be custom coded and custom built specifically for us, which makes it scalable. We can expand on this base platform infinitely, and there'll be one specific product for iOS, one specific product for Android. It just makes it a lot cleaner, a lot easier to troubleshoot, a lot easier to maintain, and it makes it much, much faster. So we decided to go that route, and we know it's going to be the right decision.
That would definitely take a lot longer to create.
It will. It will. Yeah, we're looking at like the majority of this year to get the second one done. So we don't quite know when it will be coming out.
And do you still have your construction company then full time?
So I have a dock building crew. So we have a company called Dockworks. It's a division of MHW Construction. So we build residential docks and boathouses on freshwater lakes here in Northeast Pennsylvania. That's one business that I kept. When I sold off, I have a foreman, Casey, who's been working for me, I want to say since like 2008. He kind of took that operation over years ago, and I moved into the paving and excavating and crushing that we were doing. So he runs that business for me. Phenomenal guy, hard worker, and he handles everything as far as that goes. So we kept that one. It made sense. The other ones I let go and sold off. The biggest driver was I had Triaxle in front of me. I really think this is a phenomenal product. I think it's going to do a lot of good for a lot of companies across the country. I've been dreaming about it for a long time, so I just decided to go for it. And I just knew I couldn't do it all anymore. We did paving and excavating. We had a landscape supply yard, a topsoil screening operation, and a small quarry where we crushed rock and took out some very basic Pennsylvania bluestone, flagstone products. It was busy, man. It was hectic, early mornings, late nights, running my ass off. It was fun. I loved it, but as you know, especially during the COVID time, it was hard to keep guys on those crews. And I had some key people quit and go to do either start their own business or go work for somebody else in the spring of 2021, which is also the same time that I was really starting to get some traction with Triaxle, and we were looking for a developer at that time. So I made the tough decision, but the right decision to let the other businesses go. The market was good. I sold my equipment and made good returns on it. I actually sold our landscape supply yard and our building, the real estate that it was on, to another local company that took it over. I'm still here in this building now. I lease space from them. So it was a tough thing to let go because I had worked very hard for 20 years to build a construction company, and with its subsidiaries that I was extremely proud of. It was my life, it was my lifestyle. So it was pretty hard to let go, but the writing was on the wall that if I tried to do both, they were both just going to fall apart and both fail. I needed to be laser focused on this. I could not communicate with app developers from a paver on my cell phone the way I used to communicate with the rest of my team. It just wasn't going to work. And the writing was on the wall, and I knew I would fail myself, fail my employees, fail both businesses. So it was a really tough thing because I really did enjoy what I was doing, but it got very hectic to maintain staffing. It got very competitive around here. Guys were getting, wooed by other contractors, trucking companies. And I was kind of just like, 2021 was very stressful and hectic trying to keep up with the whole construction side while trying to give the app traction. And it kind of got to the point where I was just like, I'm done. I can't do it all. So I kind of sold, sold everything and moved on. And it's a different world for me. I used to be here at the office at 5:30 in the morning. I'd work for an hour or two, then I would go on the crew all day with the guys. Then I would come back at night and do more paperwork and stuff. And then I would go home, around dinner time if I could make it or after. And now I put my daughter on the bus in the morning at 7:30, which is like 2 hours later than I usually used to get going. And I'm not as stressed. I'm also not as busy. So I'm very bored, which is a problem for me because I had many businesses because when they got easy, I would just get into something else. So it's kind of a total different world for me. I'm not nearly as fast paced and hectically busy as I was, but I'm enjoying the change of pace. It's fun. I'm traveling the country, doing trade shows, networking with people. I met you at that event in New Jersey last year. So it's been fun to get out of my Northeast PA bubble that I was in for so long and get out and see what the rest of the world has to offer.
Going to as many different places, meeting all these people. I do have to say, not to flaunt you or anything, but out of all of those people that I had met at that event, I have to say, hands down, you had the best product.
No shit. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think I sent it to you when we were there, and
You, yeah,
yeah,
you did.
I'll say it
Yeah,
again
you
now
did.
because it's true. I mean, like when you that's a misconception a lot of people have is that when they go to these events, like those kind of events, they think that their life's going to change overnight or that they're something different's going to change, but nothing's going to change until they actually change. Just like
Sure,
how you made a
sure.
change, you sold your companies, you went all in on this app, and that's why it's so good is because you committed to it. You
Right,
know,
right. If you half-ass something, you're going to get a half-ass result. That's just how it's going to be. So yeah, if you really want to do something well, you got to be all in.
so did you have like any mentors in this process that were kind of guiding you on saying, hey, maybe you should, do this or do that or
No, not in this. The biggest collaborator, and I'm not going to call him a mentor, but would, my brother was the one that really it was really nice getting another perspective. And now he's my business partner in this. He works with me full time now. I've never had a partner before. I had a handful of other businesses. I had some really great employees that helped me run them, but nobody was a partner. It was always me. Every decision came down to me. If I couldn't sleep at night, because I had something on my mind, I could make a decision, or but it always fell on me. So now it's been a great change of pace, and it's been a lot of fun having Doug involved because sometimes, like, when you're having a bad day or you're having a good day, or you're looking at something with one set of eyes, you get tunnel vision, and it's easy to kind of get caught up in that. So with him coming in, he's got business experience. He's been in the corporate world dealing with a company where there's hundreds of employees, so he has more experience handling higher employee numbers, different types of issues that I never had to deal with. So having him come in was a breath of fresh air because we wouldn't be where we are today without him. I couldn't be doing this all myself. He's brought so much value and so much, different perspective to this, and talent. He does our media productions. He does my podcast production. He's always been like the tech guy in the family. He's got a water cooled computer sitting on his desk that he built from scratch. Like, that's who he is and that's what he does. But he he we both have our strong points with this. I brought my industry knowledge, all my contacts, my network, my knowledge from 20 years and frustrations in construction, and he brought some business skills, technology skills. He understands more what our developers are talking about and what's going on. So it's really been a great partnership. And for so many years, I never had a partner. And I think this one with Doug, it was meant to be for one reason or another, but it's really been working out well. And I know this would be a lot harder without him and a lot more frustrating. And I probably wouldn't be here. I think I probably would have. It's possible I would have given up a couple of years ago, when I just kind of kept losing traction and couldn't get this off the ground. And when he came in, um, started giving me ideas and feedback and stuff, it got to the point where we kind of realized, like, hey, you want to work with this on me? You want to get involved? So it's been really good. We kind of are able to bounce stuff off of each other when one of us is down or bummed out about something, or something's not going right. The other one's there to say, hey, suck it up, like, let's go. We got a long ways to go here, keep on rocking. So it's been good.
do you have any big visions for the second version that you really thought that they missed with the first version?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more powerful. So right now we have about 2,000 users on the platform, which equates to about 2,000 companies. So it's the company owners that are on it. And our app is geared towards, we're going to say, like 1 to 50 employees. Like, that's our sweet spot. If you have 500 employees or 1,000, you're still welcome, and we encourage you to use our marketplace. But what we're doing is some very streamlined and light employee project management type stuff, where you can communicate with your team. You basically, like, you can create a job site on our app. Every job site that you have, you create the site, then you can pull your employees into that job site and you can communicate with them within the app. You can share photos, share documents, you can upload your blueprints in there. So we have a very basic version of that right now. It's kind of doesn't work the way we wanted it to, but it's there. So that's going to be much more detailed, and it's going to have a lot more features this next time around. We do have some other things that we're working on and getting to that I'm not going to release just yet. But yeah, it's the so the first time we came out, we were proud of the product, we were proud of the idea, but not it wasn't 100% what we wanted. We're not going to release this one until it's exactly what we want. And I have no doubt, even like our current users that are going to have to delete the existing app and then sign up for the new one, I think they're going to be blown away by the changes that we put in. It's really going to be a very well done app, and we're already proud of we've gone through the design. We can see what it's going to look like. Now they're actually going to start coding it, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm really excited to show it off. I'm very impatient because it's probably going to take 7, 8, 9 months to do it, but it's going to be great. So, and we have the way we're doing it is we do have some tools that we'll be building out. And to back up a bit, I guess, so our marketplace where you can collaborate and network clean fill, other materials. You can list your business, your landscape supply yard, your topsoil, any construction related business, whether it's a service where you go out and you do work for people, or if it's a brick and mortar type location, like from a lumber yard to a quarry to an asphalt plant, like a fixed location, you can come on and build your profile out and be visible to our other users. So our marketplace is free. And then we're going to have paid tools that we'll be implementing. So that job site project management that I was talking about, that'll be a paid feature at some point next year after we get through our beta. And then we have some other tools that we'll be implementing over the next couple of years that we think are going to be pretty awesome, but we're going to scale up to those accordingly. So we're pretty excited for it.
2 questions for you.
Sure.
One is, do you anticipate maybe putting some sort of time tracking software where they say, hey, look, Anthony and Matt are going to be on job site A, and then the actual employee can log into the app and say, all right, I'm on job site A, I just got here, clock in, and then they leave job site A, clock out, they go to job site B, and then they could be like a project management, a more robust, maybe.
Maybe. Yes. Yeah, no. I just don't want to get into all the details of what we have coming because there is competition out there and we do have eyes on us. But yeah, we will. We want you to be able to not only run your project through Triaxle, but also get the back end data where you can see the reporting at the end of the day, see what your guys did, see what machines ran, see how much money you made, how much money you lost, how many loads of material you trucked, where those products went to. So yeah, we have plans to really kind of wrap it all up and bring it all full circle. So, you know, you have your employees come in, they have their own Triaxle account, they're linked in, and you can move them, around to different jobs. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
That's all, because I mean, there's so many different routes. Then you could even say, all right, well, I could put my Bobcat on there. I could log the hours. I could put maintenance in it, and then you know what job sites it's being used. That's so cool.
Have you seen our design? Did you hack into our system this?
No, I'm just thinking
Just
because, well, there's other platforms out there, and I've experimented with a lot of different things. It's genius. It's genius. It really is. And then the other part is, I'm more of a landscape background, and now in the mechanic space, are there obviously you can have landscapers on there from what it sounds like, but is there a spot for mechanics? I know I've gone and done jobs in far towns, and I've had a piece of equipment break down on me. Are you going to put any sort of construction mechanics for heavy equipment
we
or
do.
any? There
Yeah,
are.
yeah. We currently have a category for mobile mechanics on there. So, yeah. So for this second round, we're kind of going back. We're not kind of. We're going back to our roots, back to my first vision of giving people an efficient way to network materials. And that's whether it's the clean fill or, they're trying to get rid of, like, we have a lot of tree guys on the app that are looking for sites to dump their wood chips every time they're on a site. So we kind of expanded our categories when we launched last year. We realized that it didn't just have to be for the dirt guys. It didn't have to be the guys trucking materials. It could be for everybody. So we have categories for electricians, finish carpenters. We kind of put everything in that we could think of as a test to see what worked. And now we're going to be cutting some of those back out. We certainly want everybody that can benefit from our job site project management tool on there. A residential painting crew, if they use our app correctly, this next one that comes out, they can track their time, they can track their guys, but they're not our core user. Our core user is an excavating company, a landscaper, a trucking company, a developer, a home builder. Our core user are people that will benefit from the connections that they can make sourcing materials and getting rid of other products. So that was kind of one of the things, when Doug came on, we expanded my vision to go from just clean fill to, hey, anybody in the construction industry is welcome to use this and come on. But going back and looking at it, our categories were too broad. They were too, we welcomed everybody in because we wanted to, but we've realized through testing and feedback and stuff that it's just not, it's not an ideal place for, a finished carpenter to be. They're not trucking, they're not doing a lot of the things that our app provides. So although, anybody in the construction industry is welcome, we're no longer going to say, hey, it's for everybody, because really it's for the dirt guys. It's for the guys that are moving materials in triaxle trucks, or it doesn't have to be triaxle trucks, but basically the guys that are digging in the dirt, moving dirt, putting down landscaping, hardscaping. That's who this is really for.
Yeah. Huh. Very interesting. Matt, I love your product. It's been a pleasure having you on. I don't have any more questions for you, honestly. I think that you've really made a rock solid case for your app in 30 minutes.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I don't have anything else for you, honestly. I love it, man. Keep going. And I'm really excited to see where this takes you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would say, to you and to anybody that's listening, check it out. You can go to triaxle.com. There's a web version where you can see what's going on in the country and see all the pins on the map and all the companies and the different pins of people, networking fill. But you can also download it from your app store. Just download Triaxle and understand that one will go away, hopefully by the end of the year here, and a new one will take its place. But download and check it out. It's a contractor business to business app. It's not meant to connect contractors with homeowners the way some of the other apps out there are. It's a business to business app only. So we're really excited. I know it's going to do some really good stuff. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it right where we want to be, but I think in 2 years from now, I'm hoping it's a household name in the construction industry. And I think it has a lot of potential to do that. So we're excited for it. And I definitely appreciate you having me on. If you can go up and sign up as a mobile mechanic on there, because there's a home for you.
For sure. I'll definitely get on there. I didn't know that you had the category. Now that I do, though, I'm going to get on there and I'll have all my friends around here be on there too.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Hey, thanks, Matt. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.